How long were you actually working in the salon before you?
I can't remember exactly, but I think it was only about 18 months.
Right.
So I literally was kind of, relatively new to the industry, had absolutely no business experience whatsoever. I just knew that I was a grafter, and I knew I'd put the hours in if I needed to.
Yeah.
And I took out a loan and bought the salon and put the hours in.
So could you, because obviously we're always big into manifesting, aren't we?
Mm-hmm.
So do you think, like when you started working there, did you have aspirations then? Did you think, I would love to own this, or I would love to have something like this? Or was it purely out of the blue?
It was, do you know, I remember the day actually to the T. I was on my own in the salon. It was my birthday, and my client hadn't showed, and I was sitting there feeling a little bit, moping around, feeling a bit sorry for myself. And my boss rang, and she said, I just wanted to see, if it's all right to have a chat at some point. And immediately my heart, you can imagine, as a people pleaser, I was like, what have I done? And anyway, she said, how do you want to buy the salon? And I was like, yeah. I thought, oh my gosh, I didn't want to miss out on that opportunity. But, I didn't have a clue really what I was doing. And to be quite honest with you, I didn't for 7 years. I bought it in 2011 and I just threw myself into it, and I worked pretty much 6 days a week, 12-hour days. At Christmas, I would sleep at the salon just because, I'd be finishing at 10, starting again at 7. And I did that right up until I had my daughter in 2018. And it was only then that I didn't realise, I didn't anticipate, or I wasn't prepared for, should I say, that huge revenue drop. So that's when I started to have to really sort of look at my numbers and focus on that.
Going back to you, the owner ringing you, was the other therapist working there? Did she just see something in you, do you think, or what do you think?
I'm not really sure, actually. There was a few of us working there at the time, and one of my friends was, one of the other therapists was pregnant. And I just remember having this fear of someone else coming in and taking over, because we were really happy with what we were doing and things. And I had this, what scared me more, I think, was somebody else coming in and changing the way we do stuff. And I guess I was a bit scared for her as well, really. Neither of us really liked change. And I thought, my goodness, she's pregnant. She was, I can't remember really at what stage, but I just remember thinking, God, I need to say yes to this and make everything all right,
That's just you, isn't it? That's just like...
But genuinely, though, I was just so scared that somebody was going to come in and change the way that we did stuff. And I kind of thought I'd just,
So had the owner told you all beforehand, like as a team, or no, you didn't know?
And I can't really remember how it came out, really. And I do remember feeling a bit uncomfortable with it. And I think that's why I was so wanted to keep everything the way it had been, and that's why I kind of threw myself into the therapist. Still came in a tunic, I still did the long hours, I still was like exactly the same, but I just made little improvements, and those improvements were always aesthetic, because like there was a little hole in the bathroom, and that used to bug the hell out of me. So that was one of the first things we did, and it was just making little changes that just made what we were doing, but made it a bit better, and completely avoided the important stuff. But
like the numbers and things.
Yeah, exactly that, yeah.
So did you manage to keep the team, or what happened with the team?
Yeah. In fact, I think up until just before COVID, we only lost one team member, actually, and it was just we were just growing it all the time.
Awesome, absolutely awesome.
Yeah.
So what happened when you had the little one? Because obviously that would have been a real culture shock, and sort of like you going from flat out working crazy hours, because I should imagine while you were pregnant you were still working a lot of hours, like a lot of
I think actually leaving to have Bonnie, I think that's what kind of got me off that treadmill. I genuinely think I would probably still be there now, doing all those hours. But obviously it was a case of, she became my priority.
Yeah.
So running it was a bit of a culture shock for the team as well. Because obviously I was there all day, every day. I'd be there before them, I'd close after them, and I was used to putting out those little fires and things like that. And I did have a manager, and she was amazing. But I still was there was around, dealing with those side of things. Didn't have the policies and the procedures or anything like that in place, all of which nowadays is really important. But none of the foundations were really there for me to take that step back.